one part the people and we put the All People's Congress APC Party Constitution together. Honorable Osman Timbo. We don't introduce some early idea this morning for cancer listeners. Them waiting the inside the new APC Constitution as now the 1995 you be done the use, but concerns them. We don't they come from the member and supporter them after the 2018 election. We made them we don't go to court, but after all, the long and short of it, all the party don't get a new constitution now. Well, how this for help the party end, especially so some changes where some member them we don't they ask for. Waiting, they don't change the constitution, and the reason that to make we get on this morning. Good morning again, Honorable Timbo, and welcome to the program once more.
Good morning.
All right, so let me just start for tell listeners and first, as member of the All People's Congress APC Party, you know one person we been the now the committee we're able for do this reform now the constitution, and when I don't get finally don't go through all the process don't go back and forth with PPRC and concerns, and we been there now finally when I don't get an official document for the APC party, how it feel like as a member of the APC, for long I don't go through all the struggles all these years and don't able to forget our final documents now we're on a new constitution.
Well, thank you very much, and indeed this has been a long time coming, and for we personally as members of the CRC, that's the Constitution Review Committee, we feel like it's a whole load we don't put down. Imagine this committee was set up in 2018, and it's only 4 years afterwards that we finally get this constitution. But for the party and every Sierra Leonean actually, where they look at politics with open lens, it's a welcome thing. People know that we are turning to a new page. And I also want to make people that know, say, this constitution was not only immediately after we lost the 2018 elections, a 9-man committee was set up to look into which people lost the elections. And I mean, one of the recommendations of the 9-man committee that we review this constitution. So now based on that, this constitution was reviewed, and we now get a new constitution which will come into effect on the 25th of March 2022. This shows that the party is now moving. The wheels of the party have started moving in a new legal region.
Honorable, some member them we been get issues with the old 1995 constitution. One of the issues though they be is that particular constitution where the party be use not democratic. There are certain section then they we be in the constitution where party member them where at some point they even form some groups then the NRM one. Then they call on the party say they need for remove that particular constitution. Now, let we look at the democratic issues that they raise. How you would describe this new constitution where the APC party don't get?
Well, firstly, let us say to everybody that no constitution is perfect, and constitutions are made. The time when they make them for look at the surrounding circumstances, look at the past, and also see how they made its future be. So, if you want to call the 1995 constitution not democratic, you have to look at the term where they make them. Yes, it was necessary at this particular term for we move on because democracy on the move. But in terms of the issues where we talk about how democratic this constitution be, it is very, very democratic in the sense that I remember they were saying we for delete the provision we get for do with selection. That part we get for do with selection has been deleted, and now it's elections of party officers and even with candidates them for represent we at local, general and presidential elections.
Earlier, Honorable Babi asked you about concern them will be the come out from one member them say the old constitution will be used in all democratic and some certain section then the constitution where they make some member them not able for participate, especially for take executive position them. This new constitution where I don't get now, how it friendly and how it go allow people in the party for participate for come before and take executive position them, especially the young one in the party.
I think this constitution will make them very clear as to how you vote and how you get right for contest for positions. We get a particular chapter there we talk about elections. Then on chapter 6, we clearly spell out how somebody go get right for vote any elections and how somebody go get right for make a team up for vote. These are very clear, and they give everybody the opportunity for making read the Constitution and see say there is no discrepancy, there is nothing will hide. Everything has been made very clear. So anybody who meet this requirement, whether you're young, old, woman, disabled, you have a right as a member of the party if you meet certain basic requirements for make you contest for any position we want within the party.
The most popular clause we've been there in the old constitution and the all get for do with the selection clause.
Right.
Where most people be the call say a need for commot na the APC constitution. Waiting they happen with that selection clause the way we talk about the new constitution I want a party don't get.
For answer this very simple, I will tell you say in order again. Yeah, so it's all elections, all party officers, and also we candidates at local, general, then parliamentary and presidential elections have to be elected one way or another.
So the changes them way they make na the constitution of the All People's Congress, how na don't get back to na membership for no say the concerns them way some of na member them been gets una able for resolve them and una don't get a new constitution.
Well, this is it's a long process, a process where when we first do the constitution and present it to NAC inform the general public and ask that anybody will get objection or suggestions, make it bring them forward. That process pass, then we go to a convention where now all the delegates of the party, that basically delegates and the representatives in every constituency within this country, then go endorse the constitution. When we come, we send the constitution to the PPRC, and the PPRC publish them for make everybody in the whole country, inside and out, make them come up with whatever objection, whatever concerns they get. Some people raise those concerns and we go through then concerns and now we don't do this. I mean, we don't pass the stage where the PPRC stage don't complete, and now we have a new constitution. And by the press release with the party, or the public statement with the party pulled last Friday, they don't inform the general public that this new constitution will come into effect, and that very soon they go fix a date where they go formally present to the general membership of the party.
Let we look at some of the issues them we been come up during the term where the constitution be the na PPRC. Some members then been put together some certain issues them where then say they're not okay with another constitution day as of that time day. How na be able to go back into the drawing board and make sure say all opinion or things them way on a member they want be included in this new constitution.
So when we're gonna PPRC, after the objectors then file their objections, PPRC been sent back the objections then to we, and we responded. And PPRC called a meeting between we, where we go and discuss, and for make them publish the constitution, and because we trash out some of these points. Some of them, the PPRC and even the objectors, they agree with we position. Others and they where we actually accepted the objections, or even some have been suggestions for make the document a better document. But at the end of the day, I can tell you that the document that was produced not be a good document. No constitution is perfect, and not only when you start for apply them, that you will see the lapses. There are a few things where we definitely not been satisfied with, even with during the PPRC process, but for the sake of progress, we accepted and we're moving on.
So at this stage where the party don't do now, especially for the membership we been dissatisfied with some sections in the 1995 APC Constitution, you just safely say then safe to accept the new constitution of the APC?
It is a hope, because the APC is supposed to be a united party, and they no longer plenty chance if they're not being satisfied for their object. And like I say, when we go on a PPRC, the people who will not be satisfied being actually put out the objections and sent on to PPRC, and we've dealt with them. So we not get any other person where don't show dissatisfaction. And in that vein, we feel so everybody now will come on board for make we see the bigger picture and know that this country needs to be saved more than anything else.
Concern them way most of una members they been get now the issue of the executive where they run the party now say their mandates to expire and the party they say and we will go into convention if the constitution already. Now this constitution where everybody be they wait for already. Any updates they as to when the party they prepare for all a convention?
With regards to the expiration of the term of office of the executive, I think that a matter where they before the court. I think people don't forget that the High Court is still dealing with the matter where Alfred Conte been filed. That matter has been adjourned for judgment, so we only wait for judgment, and we hope that now that the constitution don't come out, the judgment will be delivered very soon. We trust that the judiciary will do what is right for ensure that democracy prevails in Sierra Leone. With regards to the next steps for us and within the plans for whole conventions, that case where I just talked about, the Alfred Peter Conte case, an injunction was slammed, and that injunction they still enforce. The injunction was only varied where the courts were allowed to go hold the convention for do the constitution, but after that we still on the injunction, and until after the court give judgment and lift the injunction on we cannot fix a date for the holding of conventions. But in the transitional provisions within inside the constitution, it gave the mandate to the National Advisory Committee, the NAC, the second highest body of the party, for making set up a 25-man transitional independent interim elections management committee when I get for oversee and conduct these elections. This 25-man committee will be composed of people that were not executive members, people that were not contest for positions or we don't show themselves saying they support any candidate. They want and then go constitute them. At the same time, the party will take into consideration regional and gender balance when they set up this committee.
Now, let me look at the benefits them where they inside this new constitution for una members them. Earlier, I be ask you about the issue where member them be they raise say some of them not they get the opportunity for come before and take party executive position them and serve some certain group of APC member them be they say the part and where they before now for rule the party they need for step aside and allow the young people in the party for take up the affairs of the party. So now with this new constitution, what are some of the benefits then where you go say they inside there for APC members then?
Firstly, let's talk about the thing where you say, oh, the pardon for left, let the young people then take. That's an opinion. But if we're talking about democracy, democracy is for all, whether you're old, you're young, whatever sex or whatever your status, you know. I know for say, let the pardon take a back seat and let the young people then take over. Anybody will feel like they're strong enough, they feel so they command the respect and the confidence of the people, make them go try themselves at the ballot box. That is what we should be advocating for as Democrats, basically people who want democracy. Just saying, oh, one set of people for go and a new set for come is not democracy. Allow everybody for go to the box and face up. Like I've been saying earlier, in chapter 5 of the Constitution, we deal with elections. You say clearly, and that, for example, if you want for contest for an executive, a national executive position within the party, you just for them be a fully paid up member for a continuous period of 5 years before the elections. If you want for be an executive member at the constituency, regional or district level, you get for them be a member for 1 or 2 continuous years, depending on the level you want for contest for. But now it's very clear. Everybody go look at the Constitution and you will see, say, once you meet the minimum requirements, then you're qualified for contest.
All right. Honorable Timbo, let we come to the issue of the present executive where they run the party. Now where the 1995 constitution don't expire and the new constitution don't begin for work now. Waiting at the status of the current APC executive.
Okay, so usually when you move from one legal regime, from one constitution to another, you got in called transitional provisions, and now waiting to take one to the next step. Yes, this new constitution don't come into effect, and the right thing for make we don't have make we get a new executive. So the question is now, until we get a new executive, who that get for the in charge of the party? So this is clearly protected, or this is clearly provided for in the Constitution, particularly in what we call the transitional provisions of the Constitution, particularly Article 82, etc. Now, in talk about, say, this present executive way at all levels, from the national level, regional level, district, constituency, Women's Congress, Youth League, all the present executive will then get, then go continue for day in effect until this new elections with the 25-man committee will then get for set up, get for conduct. Until the first conventions, these people still continue for hold office.
I ask
because
you this
power not allow for a vacuum.
I ask you this question, Honorable Timbo. Now, because of a statement where Honorable Alpha Khan make during the campaign them Nakoya, where I still believes in a member of the APC party because we not see a letter it from the party say not to a member again. They make a statement say 12 o'clock sharp where the new constitution will don't come into effect. The mandate of this executive, the Secretary General to be specific, it will expire.
A rather unfortunate for somebody of a very senior standing, maybe in the country, and even before in the party for make their statement, yeah. And I know myself listen to him, and it's very, very unfortunate. And also, Honorable Alpha Kanu, not somebody who is lettered, not somebody who they read. And for make you say that, it might be for two reasons. Maybe it's out of mischief, or maybe the fact that you know read them. But definitely, Honorable Alpha Kanu to just an ordinary person, we know, not sabi nothing. We're supposed to say things and be guided by them. One for make himself now take the Constitution. I should say, never read them, never watch them. He's busy maybe with government business, you know. So you never watch the Constitution for making no say this provision there inside. But ordinarily, as an educated person, you know, say there are transitional provisions in every constitution. So you're unfortunate, or maybe like I say, now for cause mischief. Now make you do what you do so.
So Honorable Timbo, as per the constitution where the All People's Congress APC party don't review, and you know member of that committee they review that particular constitution, the waiting on a constitution say but the activities of una member them. For example, I go cite out Honorable Alpha Khan where we see the move now with the current government, even when this by-election Akoya, we see them with them. Wait on a participate on a membership in terms of their activities.
This is very good again. These are some of the new things where we really put in this constitution, where we make this constitution. I think it's one of the best in the sub-region because we look at plenty of other constitutions across the world and even locally before we come to this one. It talks about, there's a particular chapter where we talk about discipline, and particularly at Article 62. We talk about the causes of discipline. One of the things that we did in that, one reason for discipline, if you defect to another political party. If you defect to another political party or openly support a candidate of another political party, then it calls for discipline. In chapter 2, we talk about how you lost your membership, forfeiture of membership. It says that if you defect to another party, you openly support a candidate for a political party where the party gets a candidate, it's a cause for discipline. And once you do that and you're found wanting, then you forfeit your membership. So
now the main penalty than the way the party constitution they talk about if the membership they involved in another political party activity.
Yes. If you want, make a read for you, I will.
Honorable Timbo, quickly before you read that section, the old constitution in 1995, they talk about issues that we get for do with anti-party activities, them way na that particular side the party be they use for pull people and come out na the party then feel say don't go against some of the things them. And this new one now they talk about discipline. Now two different things them or not the same one will be they use for the anti-party activity don't have really defined to this one.
So when you say anti-party activities, you ask myself when an APC member, I don't know what the anti-party activities mean. It can mean anything. So it's broad. So for avoid that, we try for clearly spell out and be very definitive on what we mean by these activities where you go do, we will make them discipline you. So now we know exactly, first in the anti-party activity, you go for look at the constitution and see whose part by which you do will constitute anti-party activity. So now everybody is clear as to what.
So it don't default that part na the APC party constitution, Honorable Alpha Khan mean.
Oh yeah, so I read for you within this section say. Section Article 14D. a member of the party who contests as an independent candidate against the official candidate of the party, or who joins or declares his or her support for another political party or its candidate, or for an independent candidate when the party has sponsored a candidate in a general or by-election, shall forfeit his membership of the party, provided that such a member is found liable by a disciplinary and grievance handling committee. So this is very clear about somebody who be independent candidate, we support a candidate of another political party, outside the party get a candidate. So in this case,
the constitution don't come into effect, and people see Honorable Alfakan, when like I say, a senior member na the APC party, been come out openly the campaign acquire for another candidate. With this new constitution, the party go get planned for use this particular section on them.
I don't know what the plan of the party is, but I can tell you that the constitution actually makes provision for such anti-party activity. So and if the party decide for set up a disciplinary committee for look into this, squarely it don't do it in the constitution say not for do any for forfeiting membership.
So coming back to the issue of the whole review of the constitution of the APC, well, the dates of the next general election has been announced already in June next year. This new constitution where the APC party don't get, how best it go for help for bring sanity in the party and see say in no time on a really move forward for able to get somebody where the party go pull for send them young candidates and we then go for support for the 2023 election because a few months to the election now.
The constitution will help very much because it will bring certainty. So we basically know how we operate now, waiting the guide we and how we move forward. So definitely this one will bring sanity. It will bring sanity and will bring certainty to the party on moving forward.
Finally, before you left with Honorable Timbo, this new APC constitution, now one way you could describe, say, this na the people's constitution?
Yes, definitely, it is. From even the process of putting it together, where we had to travel the length and breadth of this country for talk to people then, from the lowest level to the highest level. We talk to people then, what in them feels in the challenges within the constitution, what in them feels in the challenges generally within the party, within the country, and how them feel say we go make things better for everybody, not just within the APC but the country as a whole. And this time we reflect inside this constitution. So it is definitely the people's constitution.
Now look at the timing when this constitution come into effect. You think say they into the advantage of the party, considering on a party the opposition now and on a they try for come together for conduct on a convention we go lead on a forget a flag bearer for going to the election.
It is not too late. It is not too late. So we only thing we want now for beg the court for make due and deliver judgment very soon so that we say go hold with conventions and then prepare ourselves for save this country in 2023.
All right, thank you very much. That's now Honorable Osman Timbo, and I be member na the APC Constitutional Review Committee. Now them put together the new APC Constitution we don't come into effect on Friday and they don't replace them with the 1995 Constitution. I be there with you at the program this morning. They talk about something them and benefits the way the Constitution gets for APC member them. Now they end the program. Thank you very much. Honorable, we join me at the program this morning.